I thank the member for comments. Before I call Todd Miller, I am going to issue a bit of a warning. I think at least 3 of the last 4 speeches have been just very much at the edge of the bill. I know we're under urgency and that gives a bit more latitude, but I am going to ask members now to focus more of their comments on the bill. Todd Miller.
Mr Speaker, I rise to say a few words on the Local Government Auckland Transition Provisions Amendment Bill. What a shame, was all I can say to your previous ruling, Mr Speaker, because I was all ready to go. It was almost general debate time. But anyway, sorry, all right.
Yeah, I've had to warn other members, other relatively new members recently, that when rulings have been made from the chair, it's not something for members to comment on. The member just must move on with the debate.
Isn't it great to be part of such a participatory democracy, particularly up in Auckland? Like when this bill was first introduced and we were thinking about how likely it was for people to be involved in the submission process, I'm sure none of us had any sense of the thousands of people that would become involved quite to the level that we have, Mr Speaker. And as we've heard in 1 or 2 of the good speeches that we've had thus far, particularly the previous but 2 speech from Mr Goff, when he was so enthusiastic about this bill and the opportunity to make a difference. And wasn't it such a contrast to have it? Such a contrast to have the negativity and depression of the subsequent Labour speech. Won't it be incredible in a year's time when he's a mayor and the opposition spokesman comes in to talk about housing? How very depressing for you, Your Worship. However, Mr Speaker, as Mr Goff did mention, there has been many thousand submissions already heard, but there are many thousand still to go, Mr Speaker. So it makes sense, doesn't it? When you have an opportunity here for us to be able to consider a bill which allows those submissions to be heard in a way that gives them due opportunity to contribute, because the last thing we would want is for those submitters to have their opportunity to impart their view around the future of Auckland as expressed in the unitary plan or the draft unitary plan to in any way be constrained. So of course what we have here, Mr Speaker, is 3 particular areas relating to the reduction of the number of the quorum for the hearing sessions. That's very appropriate. Increasing the size of the panel, and I think most importantly allowing the hearings panel to make recommendations as they complete a particular topic, as opposed to waiting to all of those topics that are included in the unitary plan to be completed. In many respects, the reason we're having this conversation is we're almost victims of our own success. We had no sense that there would be such an involvement of the Auckland people, and they have, and it is absolutely appropriate to give them this opportunity, and this is what this bill enables, and that's why I support it to first reading here this evening.
Very good speech. Denise Roche.
Thanks, Mr